Greetings, family. Happy Saturday. I hope all is well with you, all is well with me. I felt like spending some time sharing my thoughts with you today. And initially, I was going to go sit in the larger porch. I got as far as the side door. Oh, goodness. I am enjoying the day. I hear music in the background. I can't tell if it's drums or some other style of rhythm, but um, I am always amazed when I hear drumming in the background. I always wonder, oh, is there a naming ceremony, a wedding? What's happening that there's drumming? And why didn't anyone invite me? Over the past couple of months, I've been to a couple of cultural events where there was drumming and dancing. And I imagine that one day we would have that here where I'm living. But the reality is that it may already be here. It's just that I haven't heard about it. So I need to just get on board or wait for the opportunity where I can receive that information and then take part. So I'm just being very mindful of where I am today, what I have planned for today, which is really nothing, even though I could make a list of things that I should or could be doing. I don't want to do them at this moment. So I'm going to leave it for later. I wanted to share with you, oh gosh, so many things. I'm going to let this go past the 3-minute mark or longer. I don't want it as a short. Shorts are good because it gets more views, but the people that go and listen to my longer posts are the ones that are really seeking quality information. I try to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth without, um, I want to say, in the roundabout way. I'll tell you what you should do instead of what you shouldn't be doing, if that makes sense to you. So let me start by that because if you've been watching my posts, you see that I had two friends from the States come and they visited me here in West Africa. I started out in New York City a year and a half ago. We've been friends, me and the sister Alexia, who decided that she wanted to have her birthday here in the Gambia. And so I sat with her and a few other people on a Zoom call and explained to them some of the excursions and activities they could do while they were here. And then I suggested that they come through Senegal. To me, it's just easier. I've, up until almost a year and a half ago, there was a direct flight from JFK to Gambia, and then that changed. And so I figured there's some things in Senegal that you may want to see. So why not just take your flight there, and then we could board the bus and go to Gambia, and then I would swing back with you to Dakar, and we would finish up our trip. And that's what we did. And I had an itinerary packed with different activities. We didn't get a chance to do everything, and it was okay. What they received, they were pleased with, and I think that both returned back to the States more informed and having a wonderful experience. And it goes back to what I had originally imagined when I came here. Some of my older videos, I talked about being the bridge. I kept saying, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to build, I'm going to be the bridge. That crossing over, I mean, you could have a distance between two land sources, and separating it is murky water. And I've seen too many people have to swim in that murky water. And I thought if I could be the bridge, they could get to the other side very easily and have a pleasant experience. And I think I made that happen. I hope I made that happen. I when I do a thing, I always wonder, could it be done better? Could it have been done differently? And I feel like that answer for me is no. What had to happen happened. It happened organically. It happened with the spiritual connection to it. I mean, I can't even go into details, but I'm a very firm believer that if this is your first time coming to the continent, there's going to be some things that you're going to have to shed. We're coming with a lot of trauma. And the best way to relieve those traumas or to face those traumas is to focus on self. I hope that makes sense. A lot of times, I think it's because of what we've been trained to do. People, we've seen it all, save a child and save a village and dig water. And so we come with the spirit of giving and a desire to help. Meanwhile, we haven't given to ourselves. We haven't allowed ourselves to be in a space of healing. And so we're left to swim in those murky waters. And if we're not careful, if nobody throws out that rope, you can end up drowning. And the unfortunate part is you're going to have to find your own rope, put on your own mask before you can assist somebody else in putting on theirs. So in my other posts, I talked about or had an acronym for bridge. And I think, because I haven't looked at it since then, it's like being ready and intentional, doing good everywhere, in everything, something like that. And that's how I created the itinerary. That's how I imagined the trip to be. I was ready because I've been here long enough to learn some things, and I'm still learning some things. And those that are here have learned some things and still are learning things. And so when I was able to have a question about something, I can reach out to a credible source because they have already done it. I would never want to give advice to anyone, and I've never done it myself. I think I may have mentioned that in one of my posts about building. I would rather build something first before I say to someone, oh, let me introduce you to someone who can build. I don't know if that person is even credible or sincere. So I have to go through the process. I always say, I'll take the L, I'll take the hit. In the end, I'm going to get something out of it. And then I'll be happy to share it with others who need that information. Anyway, I'm not going to stay here too much longer. We're going to make it an even 15 minutes. I was a bookkeeper back in the day, an accounts receivable bookkeeper. I was about 20 years old. That was a long, long, long time ago. Each long is 10 years. So that was like 40 years ago. So when we had to balance the book, it had to be zeros all around. So I like zeros. So I will keep talking to 15 minutes. Anyway, once again, happy Saturday. What do you have planned for the day? Tomorrow is the last day of the International Trade Fair. And I've been there a couple of times, but I have not been in the mood to videotape. It never really even crossed my mind. You know, I've been to the trade fair about, I want to say, 4 times, maybe even 5. The first year, the trade fair was over at the arena. Is that what they call it? It was at the stadium. And that was in March. And then the year after that, it went over to the location that it is now at Turntable, the International Trade Fairgrounds. Then I think I went again. Maybe I know I missed last year's, and then I looked forward to this year. And I didn't do a lot of shopping because I still have stuff in my closet I have not worn. And I'm like, no, 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 and no. So I didn't really feel compelled to buy anything substantial, I'll say that. But I am always attracted to their jewelry, and so I picked up a couple of pieces, and I may decide to go back tomorrow. If I do, I'll videotape for you. But right now, let me just be still and allow for quietness. Give thanks.